Okay, guys, hey, it is Sam here. It is Monday. We are solving your stress. It is Monday's Solving Your Stress mini series. Coming to you a little bit late again today because I was in McKinney at a wonderful PTS wellness workshop, and my dogs want to come out, so stand by. Okay, come on. And kind of a different view here. Hello, puppies. Different view here today. Trying this out. And so, very important question today. Excuse us. Yeah, oh, thank you. Frodo's doing my makeup. So, every week is an important question because you all have told me how much these episodes mean to you and how much you really needed to hear the thoughts that day. And so I first want to say thank you. So appreciate you sharing these, appreciate you sharing your thoughts with me, appreciate you sharing your questions with me. And as I start every Monday talking about top three things that you can do when you feel stress: detach, prioritize, and execute. And detaching from what is causing us stress so we can get a bird's eye view, if you will, kind of looking from the outside in. So when we take ourselves out of that stressful situation, we are able to operate with a clearer mind and really look at the root cause. Prioritize, what's the next thing? Not group of things, what's the one thing that we can do next, and then executing, doing that next thing. So that is how, in a general sense, to look at dealing with stress. Now, this week's question is specifically, what are the warning signs when you are too stressed out? Right? What are the warning signs? And I made a list here, which is why I'm looking down. And I am not a clinician, just want to say that. I did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. But I have had these. I have been through stress at the highest level, being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress a bunch of years ago. And so when my stress kicks in, it's the automatic fight or flight. So it's different from somebody who hasn't experienced a trauma in their life, in that, I can go 0 to 10 quite quickly. And I have experienced much of what is on this list, and this list that I made is not a complete list. So there are a lot of warning signs for stress. So the first one we'll talk about is headaches. Yep, been there, done that. And I don't get headaches, and it wasn't until dealing with post-traumatic stress that I started experiencing headaches. So if you get headaches, and I'm not talking about being clinically diagnosed with migraine type headaches, but if all of a sudden you are starting to experience headaches and it's outside your norm, it's a sign that you could be having a little too much stress. Memory issues. Been there, done that. A lot of my law enforcement folks that have dealt with PTS also experience memory issues, but having high levels of stress can cause memory issues. Chronic pain. Oh, been there, done that. That is something that will creep up on you slowly, and then all of a sudden you are feeling yourself getting out of bed every day going, oh my gosh, this hurts and that hurts. Having to do additional stretching to just move. And that leads into, when you're always in some chronic pain, irritability, anger, and frustration. Oh, been there, done that. Because if you're in pain all the time, boy, does that make you an angry bird. and irritable. I mean, it could be something so simple that somebody asks you, or your kid even, and you find yourself just raging, and then you're like, whoa, what was that? All right. If you're finding yourself getting really irritable, angry, your frustration levels are very low, your frustration tolerance is low, could be stress. Frequent sickness, and this is a big one. Been there, done that too, by the way. Because when we're stressed out and our bodies can't recover, we get sick. And when your defenses are low, because that's what stress does, you open a whole can of, reactions to germs and stuff that normally a healthy person would be able to ward off no problem. But when you're really stressed, your body has an inability to fight infection adequately. Decreased energy and insomnia. Oh, been there. Yeah. How sucky is it to have that alarm clock go up? It's time to go to work, and you are just like, oh my gosh. And then you have to make it through the day, and you're just like, oh my gosh. And you're having to concentrate in meetings, and you're like, oh my gosh. Yeah. You start hitting the caffeine, you start hitting the monster drink, you start hitting everything that will just knock off a cascade of symptomology just so you can make it through the day. And then what do you do when you get home? Most of the time we're eating crappy dinners, we're flopping down on the couch, and maybe we're falling asleep and then waking up and saying, you start hearing, oh gosh, do I have to do this another night? So we got that. Chronic fatigue. Oh, been there, done that. And when you get to this level, it's because your body has stayed at that heightened level of stress, burning through your cortisol. It's a hormone that is released naturally to deal with stress, and it's supposed to happen. But if you stay at a heightened level of stress for too long, you can burn through your cortisol, which means your body is completely out of whack, and your other hormones have to kick in to help you deal with the imbalance. And you don't notice it, you can't feel it. What normally happens is adrenaline takes over, so you stay at this heightened level of stress, and then you burn out your adrenal system. Oh, been there, done that. And that leads to chronic fatigue, where no matter what you do, your body literally cannot recover. Digestive issues. Oh, been there, done that. Digestive issues can look different for you. We are all different. So whether it's, all of a sudden irritable bowel, diarrhea, or the opposite, and again, it's outside the norm for you, and you're starting to notice this. Check your stress levels. Appetite changes. Oh, been there, done that. When we feel stress, most of the time when that cortisol kicks in, we're less hungry. And then we find, some people, I went on the less hunger track, but some people that I know went on, like in the middle of the night, they would get up and just like start shoving food in their mouths. Again, not normal for you. And you're finding all of a sudden this is happening. Got to check your stress level. Depression and anxiety. Been there, done that. This is when stress has reached its max and we stay there and we have not asked for help or gotten treatment or have effective coping mechanisms, or we've burned through our cortisol or operating on adrenaline. We have the chronic fatigue. By the time we get to depression and anxiety, we have got such a large, I'll call it large dose of what is on this list, that this is what it leads to. And from there, We can have heart issues, something that we talked about this morning, the rate and the incidence of cardiovascular issues in our first responders is absolutely skyrocketing. It's not bad enough that we have suicide rates that are just out of control, but now they're finding that we have increased levels of heart disease, and we're talking folks that have no family history of heart disease in their family. So this list, like I said, I wanted to make it because I wanted to cover everything here. This is not the end all be all. There are more symptoms and more warning signs if you're too stressed. And I'll call it, your body is like your car. And our cars have warning lights that come on. Well, when we're driving our car, and I got one today, a low pressure sensor came on, which means I got a problem with one of my tires. Okay, I paid attention to that light. Why are we not paying attention to these warning signs? You have to look at yourself in the mirror and really ask, do I have this? Do I have one of these or multiple of these going on? Am I stressed out? Am I just hating life? Am I rolling over? Snooze, 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 snooze. Am I not able to get out of bed? Am I depressed? It's a legitimate question. Do I feel anxious? These are all things that are warning lights, but there's always hope. I mean, mine came in the form of, getting help with a clinician. Yours may be a lot less than that, where you may make some changes, whether it's incorporating some deep breathing exercises, and you can find a whole litany of those on YouTube, or whether starting to incorporate exercise into your daily life. Again, hopefully you were exercising before. Exercise looks different for everybody. Maybe it's just going for a walk. I know I feel much better if I just take my dogs for a walk, which is something I do in the morning and in the evening. Whatever it is for you, you have to decide how many warning lights are going to go off on your dashboard before you're going to put the brakes on and say, I need to get real with myself. Because there is hope if you decide to take a hold of what's going on and decide, nope, I got too much stress in my life. And there's tons of resources. So this is a little bit longer video. There's a lot to cover. If you're in need of resources, please reach out, ask a friend, ask a mentor, ask me if you comment on this, or contact me through my website, at samanthahorwitz.com. There's a contact me page. You get my direct text and mobile there. If you want to direct message me through Facebook, okay, so it doesn't have to be out there in Facebook land. You can direct message me. But if you need help, ask. There's no shame in asking. No shame, no stigma, no judgment, no nothing. The most important thing for you is for you to get help and turn off those warning lights when it comes to stress in your life. So I'm going to wrap it up here. If you got questions, just ask me in a post. Again, hit me up, direct message, text, however you would like to do that. My stuff is out there. So until next week, guys, Sam out.